Recently, we received some emails from folks looking for suggestions on what to use for wood flooring. So I started going through the mailbag, and it turns out we also had a lot of questions on engineered flooring and vinyl flooring and tile and such. And well, it turns out there are a lot of questions about what's out there. So Tommy, I figured it was a good opportunity to talk about all the options that are on the market, and why not start with one of the most traditional ones?
Right here, Kevin, we have the most traditional 2.5-inch oak strip flooring. It goes down each board one at a time. You take a nail gun and you nail it to the substrate.
Right.
All right, after it's down, it has to be sanded and finished.
And that's probably what distinguishes it, that you nail it down, so you have to have a good substrate like a piece of plywood.
Right.
And once it's down, there's actually still quite a bit of work to do before it's done.
Quite a bit of work, and it can be very messy.
Yeah, okay.
Now they make a pre-finished strip flooring, again in solid wood.
Gotcha.
Comes from the factory just as you see it, already finished.
The nice thing about this is when you put it down, you can walk on it the same day. There's no sanding, there's no finishing, there's no polyurethane.
No dust, no smell.
All right, so a good alternative right there.
Other alternative is floating floors. This is a floating floor that comes pre-finished. Some of them glue together, some of them snap together.
Yep, and by floating, you mean we don't have to nail it down because it snaps together, and this is an engineered product, right?
Right, it sits on top of the substrate and moves as a unit.
And because it's a floating floor, you can really put it over almost anything. You can put it on top of tile, you can put it on top of concrete, you can even put it over an old wood floor.
Exactly. Regardless of the species that you pick, you want to think about the thickness of the wear layer or the veneer. This is about 1/8 of an inch thick, and this one's over a plywood substrate. You can also get it over a fiberboard.
Substrate is very stable, and the wear layer is actually solid material, in this case bamboo or wood, so you can actually sand engineered material.
If the veneer is thick enough, you can sand it 2 or 3 times.
Let's move on to something that doesn't really have any wood in it at all.
All right, this is actually a laminate floor, and what you see is a simulated grain. This is actually a photograph of wood with a clear coating over it.
Right, and there is no wood in this. This is sort of just on a fiber board.
Right.
And in this case, the picture is to image wood.
Right.
But here it is to image tile.
That's right, and they have all kinds of species. Again, you can get oak and whatever, different tiles.
And the headline with this is it's actually a pretty economical choice. This doesn't cost a lot of money.
It doesn't cost a lot of money. The problem with this floor is once it wears out or once it's got a lot of scratches in it, you can't refinish it.
No sanding down of the
Nothing.
laminate. Okay, so what do we got over here?
Well, we have tiles over here.
Oh, tile.
Different kinds of tiles. You have tiles that come in sheets. So you put them down, 12 by 12 sheets or even bigger. And there's all kinds of stone like marble and all kinds of things like that.
Okay.
Over here we have vinyl floors. Different species again that can be peeled off and stuck down.
Literally just stuck to the floor.
All kinds of different patterns.
And like vinyl, there was always linoleum that you can remember in maybe your grandmother's kitchen, but this has actually come a long way.
Tried and true. It's beautiful. Years ago when you put it down, you used to have to wax it. They now put sealers in them, and they give you sealers that you have to put on every few years.
And remarkably, it's actually all natural materials.
Yep, it's all natural materials. It starts out with a jute base, and then the ingredients, again, like you said, are all natural.
But now, what's this here? I have not seen this.
This is actually a vinyl floor that floats, doesn't stick down, but it sticks to each other. So when you stick them together, you actually have a nice vinyl floor that looks like wood, and again, it can go over anything.
Because this is going to be a good vapor barrier or waterproof.
Great in the basement.
Gotcha. And in this case, it's made to simulate wood, but again, there is an alternative where it will simulate stone.
Yep, you can put it in a bathroom, kitchen.
You lay it down and you're ready to go. Okay, so a lot of different choices out there, a lot of different species, a lot of different applications. I'd pretty much say you got everything covered, at least the floor.
I think we got it covered.